Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
Good, good. We're going to start this evening with Doug Smith.
Hello, Nick. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Doug.
I know before the game you talked about the ball moving side to side and shorter offensive lulls, but tonight the decision making just seemed to be crisp. The ball got to the right spot all the time. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, I wouldn't say all the time, but
Well, yeah.
most of the time. Most of the time it did. And that was, that's what we're asking them to do. You think you're going to score, that in a game by shooting quick, and that's not necessarily the case. You gotta continue to run the actions and get it in the paint and then make the right decisions. We did.
I think that's like 5 games in a row you've been over 120. It takes a lot of pressure off your defense if you're filling it up that much, right?
Well, I think that the defense should be creating some of that 120, Doug, right? I think they do work, in union with each other. Again, the offense, if they're taking care of it and getting shots, gives your defense a great chance to get set up, and vice versa. When your defense is rebounding or poking balls away or things like that, it gets you your share. And probably my only complaint would be our transition offense looked a little shaky at times. I thought we had a lot of advantage number breaks, and we probably left some points on the board there or off the board there.
Great. Thanks very much, Nick. Appreciate it as always. Have a safe trip up to Boston.
Thanks, Doug. Josh Lewinberg, why don't you go ahead and ask our next question?
Thank you, Phil. I mean, Nick. Hi, Nick. Obviously, Norm had some big stretches, some consistent stretches last season, but he seems to be on a roll right now. Have you seen him sort of playing with the kind of energy and the kind of consistent impact that he's playing with right now?
Yeah, I guess I just like his decision making right now the most, Josh. He turns the corner, he explodes to the rim. He looks really confident when it gets thrown out to him. It's like one of those deals where when he rises up, you're really expecting it to go in. And I think it's just helping his overall play too. I think I notice him making good rotations on D, blocking out a little better, all those things. But he's certainly playing at a high level right now.
A lot of talk after the game the other day about all the technicals, and there seemed to be fewer conversations from everybody with the officials today. Was that something that was discussed? Was that a focus going into the game tonight?
Well, I think that we need it to be, Josh, right? And that starts with me. So I think that there's only so much energy to go around, and you got to try to direct it in a positive way. And they got a tough job, especially this year. You can talk about how tough it is on everybody this year. I can't imagine how tough it is on them, and we got to do a better job of working in unison with them.
One more quick one for me. You had mentioned that there was a chance that we could see OG before the end of the trip. What are the chances that he's able to go tomorrow?
Well, I'm not sure, Josh. He did worked pretty hard yesterday, moved pretty well. I think he was held out today because it was a little sore again today. So I don't know, 50-50.
Thanks, Nick. Safe travel.
Thanks,
Josh. We'll go to Michael Grange.
Hey, Nick. I touched on this with you before the game, but you're 4-1 on this trip. You have this stretch of 9 of 10 on the road. And I mean, are you pleased with the way you guys have been able to perform? Or does every game feel like a road game? Do you feel like you're going into enemy territory, or like home's not that cozy?
Yeah,
I guess
there doesn't seem to be much of a difference, Michael. So you can either say they probably just all feel like a game. There really doesn't seem to be much of a difference, home or away. So I guess that's kind of my only thought on it, is it's just a game. You got to go play it no matter where it is or when it is or who it is.
And you've seen Pascal now hit a nice little run here. I think he's at 30 in 4 or 6 games, but you always talk about how what you do in your games that aren't so great. Not that tonight wasn't a great one, but he seems a little more consistent the last bunch of
Yeah,
games.
yeah. Again, just similar with Norm. I just like his decision making better. I think there's the plays I like, Michael, are kind of his catch and shoots, or his comes back to him and he drives it on the catch, and the ones where he's handling a lot of multiple dribbles out top, and the defense just kind of keeps getting tighter and tighter. He can make some of those, but I much prefer that. Some actions have happened. It comes around to him and he vaults up and shoots it. And I think that's what he's doing better. And that's rhythm, right? He's taking more rhythm shots and he's getting in a rhythm, I think, for himself. So that's good to see.
Appreciate it. Have a good trip. Yep. Good trip.
Thanks, Michael.
Next question will go to Aaron Rose from SI.com.
Hey, Nick. How much of these 120-point games is your offense being incredible, and how much is just this league seems to have a lot of high scoring? Is this just the modern NBA sort of?
Well, I think that, again, we've talked about it. The offense is growing, right? I think everybody can see that. We're not going through too many lulls, or too many poor possessions. We had a little stretch tonight. I think we turned it over 3 out of 5 times and quickly took a timeout, and they got back to, what we wanted to do. I think that we have been seeing in the last couple seasons, it feels like, I don't have the exact numbers, but it feels like early season, the scores are high and they start settling in a little bit later on. And then they obviously kind of go back down, once the postseason starts. So I think it's a little bit effect of that. And a lot of teams are playing really fast too, Aaron. With 2 teams out there that are pushing the ball constantly, there's a lot more possessions.
Do you have a theory for that early season? Maybe defense takes longer. Maybe there's a shorter training camp or preseason. Do you have an idea why that might be earlier in the season?
I don't really. I mean, again, I think it's been pretty common for the last couple of years. We seem to have this discussion, maybe a little earlier than this even. What are we, 25 games in? Maybe even a little earlier these last few years we've been talking about it. I guess I just think that, a lot of teams come into training camp and say, we're really going to run this year. And then, then they kind of settle in, start adding some more sets, and defenses start getting back a little better. And then it just kind of settles in. But maybe we're in a new era. We'll see how long it lasts.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron. Last question will go to Ben from The Athletic in Washington.
Hey, Nick, sort of a big picture question. You've been with this franchise for a while. When you played Washington in the playoffs a couple of times, and the franchise has sort of gone in different directions over the last few years. I know the record this year may not be exactly where you want it, but obviously you guys have had some great heights in the last few years. I'm just curious, what do you see knowing those teams then that allowed you guys to thrive? What culture, some sort of a mindset? What is it that you guys went one way and perhaps maybe they went a different way?
Well, first thing, Ben, I got enough to worry about with my own team to worry too much about what they're doing. But for us, I think, yeah, we've made a strong commitment. I think culture is the word, that everybody uses. We work really hard in the off season with player development. We use our minor league system the most effectively as we can. We try to set some standards for how we want to play, and play hard and guard and kind of like your first test with us is you better want to come out and play some defense, and you better understand the coverages and how we do it if you want to hit the floor, so it usually takes our new guys a little while to understand and get to that and learn the schemes. And, again, we've got another stretch of 6 or 7 new guys this year that are still learning, but they're growing.
To that point of that mindset, what is the key when you do have new people come in that understand when you come into our system, this is what is expected of you. This is what we do, because obviously that's not something that's every place can do.
Well, I mean, we try to show them, right off the bat, Ben, we try to show them kind of, our just film of the way we like to play, that we like to pressure the ball, that when you're not pressuring the ball, this is where you are. And, we got some, pretty tight accountability standards, and just like 3 or 4 areas that we really stress with them. And then we just got to drill them. And then that doesn't even do enough. They got to get some minutes out there to go through it, and then fix the mistakes and encourage the good plays, and just kind of keep teaching and growing from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ben. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Coach. We've got DeAndre Bembry waiting in the wings here. So if you have a question for DeAndre, please go ahead. Raise your hand now. We'll get started momentarily.
Okay, Billy, here we are.
Thanks. Good game, DeAndre.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to start with Doug Smith from the Toronto Star.
DeAndre, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. I think this team scored 120 or more, I think 5 straight games. What's it feel like? Like, what's going on? It's working so well offensively.
What's going on? You said offensively?
Yeah, you get like 120 a night for 5 nights in a row. It must be fun.
Well, I think we obviously have our main 3, Kyle, Fred, and Pascal, but obviously Norm stepping in that starting role, he's been putting up numbers as well.
Yeah.
We just got a bunch of options, I think, even coming off the bench. A few options, everybody's confident, and just keep the defense on their toes. I think it's pretty tough to try to guard all of us when we all are confident in every shot we're taking. So I think that's just where it's at with us. We're all confident in each play that we go out there and try to make, and it's working for us for sure.
You had one tonight. You had a drive from the corner, and it looked like you're getting into traffic. You dumped it off to Boucher for a dunk. Just walk me through that play. What's going through your mind as it's developing?
Yeah, well, I'm always thinking about the next rotation. I mean, that's what this league is all about. Once you get past the next person, the first person, there's always 1 or 2, and I've seen about 3 people trying to contest it. I mean, I could have easily dunked it if I wanted to, but I seen the better option. Once I seen 2 or 3 guys committed, I already knew Chris was going to be wide open. So that was just me trying to think ahead of the play, and it worked out.
Thanks very much. Appreciate the time as always.
No problem.
Thanks, Doug. We'll go to Mike Ganter from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, DeAndre, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just knowing your role now, or at least, sort of figuring out when your minutes are going to come. How important is that to a guy like you?
It's great. It's good. It's definitely big, especially being on a new team, trying to find a role to start. It's very big. Just trying to find that role and get comfortable with that role. And I think over the last, I don't know how many games I've been playing recently, but it's definitely big where I know what time I'm going to go in. I know the situations of the game. I know what I'm going in there to do. And it's going well so far. Just looking forward to still getting more opportunities and just taking advantage of them. I mean,
Did it feel like a long time coming, or did you kind of expect it was going to be this sort of time to sort of prove yourself before those minutes came?
Well, I'm a confident player. Before I even got on this team, I mean, Fred, Kyle, Pascal, they already knew my game. So just going off of that, those guys already know how I play. So they know I'm a confident player. They know I'm a slash. I'm going to shoot my open shots, and I'm going to play defense. So just starting with the star players, I mean, I'm already comfortable. Even preseason training camp, I was comfortable. I just needed some time to get out there and actually show the coaches, and that's what's been going on recently.
Got it. Thanks, DeAndre. I appreciate that.
Next question will go to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, DeAndre, you guys are 4-1 on this trip here. You got 9 of 10 on the road. Does it feel like a road trip? You're not going into hostile buildings, really. It's not like you're coming from home. I don't know what Tampa is to you guys now, but why have you been so good on the road, and does it feel like you're being good on the road?
Yeah, I mean, playing on the road is always attention to detail, and with this group, starting with the coaches, it's always been attention to details, whether if it's the defensive game plans or the offensive opportunities that we try to take advantage of. I think on the road, that's just the mindset you have to have, even if there's a crowd or not. I mean, we know that we're playing away. I mean, it doesn't feel like home. I mean, even when we're home in Tampa, so it feels like it's away for us. It was just been a good road trip, and we were just trying to finish it out the right way.
Appreciate it, DeAndre. Have a good night.
Thank you too.
Thanks, Michael. We'll go to Aaron Rose from SI.com.
Hey, DeAndre. Nick was sort of saying that it takes guys a little while to learn the system, and that's something he really, really cares about. Does it feel like it was really complex for you and it took you a little while together? I guess it's similar to what Gainter asked you, but does it feel like you're getting there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely completely different than what I was doing in Atlanta. They have completely different game plans, obviously different players, more opportunities offensively here than I've had in other teams. So it's definitely a lot when you first get out there, just to how much they throw at you. I mean, you can ask all of the guys. Training camp, I told them to just keep throwing questions. I mean, keep throwing answers at me, keep telling me where I need to be, because over time I'll somehow pick it up. But it's been tough, but obviously playing with these caliber type of players, they'll help you along the way.
I don't know if you ever feel necessarily like you have your like your feet are set or whatever, but do you feel like that now, or is it still sort of, you're still learning?
I mean, I don't think I'm learning. I mean, I've been in a league for my 5th season going on. So even before I was in the league, I've always played older. So I pretty much know my game. So I try to stick to that. So that pretty much helps me where I'm not able to go out there and try to force a play. I try to just shoot my open shots, get my driving opportunities, and just play hard defensively. And that's pretty much my mindset when I go out there.
Thank you.
Those are all the hands I see for this evening, DeAndre. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time.
Smart man.
How's your back, old man?
What's up, Dougie? Good morning or afternoon. My back's fine, man. Listen, I caught it early enough. And I got out the game just so, Norm can get 29 and P and Freddie can get 30. That's why I sat out. I wanted to get their numbers and let Norm not get 30.
You're a hell of a teammate, Kyle.
I try to be the best I can be.
Hey, how come the offense is going so well? Like you guys are at 125 games in a row. What are you seeing out there that's working so well?
I think we're putting the ball in the hole. I think we're shooting the three a lot better. I think Pascal, getting back into a groove helps. I think Norm has played, unbelievably great the last, every game he's been starting. I think that helps, and I just think we're kind of getting to a rotation. I know when we get OG back, it's going to be a little bit different. Minutes will change, but I think we're just in such a good groove. And, when he comes in, we'll plug him right back in.
Great. Thanks a lot, man. Safe trip up to Boston.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Doug. Next question will go to Michael Grange.
Hey, Kyle. You guys are 4-1 on this trip, and you got 9 of 10 on the road. Does it feel like a road trip? Like you're taking satisfaction because you're doing well on the road, or does it all feel like a road trip this season?
No, I mean, this is a road trip. This is our second one of the season. It just is an East Coast road trip. We had to get out of Tampa Bay so they can win the Super Bowl. And, congratulations to the Buccaneers. It's definitely a road trip, but we're just taking it game by game like we always have. We always talked about it early in the season when our record wasn't, where we wanted to be, but we knew we weren't that bad of a team. But we're just taking our time, and we're just, taking it day by day, game by game, and kind of just getting better and getting a feel for, each other even better.
I think you're 10-5 since that 2-8 start. Does that sort of feel like the level you should be at, or do you think there's more?
I feel like we should be better. We could have been better. We lost a lot of games, a couple of games that we should have won, but the team beat us, and that was that. A bounce here and there, a mistake there will hurt you, but for right now, I think we just got to continue to get better.
Appreciate it, Kyle. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. We'll go to Josh Lundberg.
Hey, Kyle. Following up on Doug's question about the offense, it seems like a lot of those scoring droughts that you guys would have almost nightly, the 3-4 minute stretches are all but gone. What do you owe that to? Is it sort of similar to what you were talking about just in terms of the offensive consistency and the shots falling, or is there something that you guys are doing to minimize those stretches?
We had a stretch tonight. We had a stretch like that tonight, and it definitely let them back in the game. But I think it's more so understanding the team, right, and the who's on the floor and who's going to take the shots. And I think now guys have been working so hard and kind of getting into a rhythm and understanding where where shots are going to come from. I think it makes it a little bit easier, understanding the offense a little bit more instead of trying to force this or that. They understand where the pass is going to go or the play is going to come. And I think that's helped us a lot.
Does it feel like you guys are able to get out of those stretches, I guess, earlier than you guys were earlier?
Yeah, because like tonight, was it third quarter or fourth quarter? It was a couple of shots missed, and then I shot and made a three. Honestly, it's just about making a shot here and there and getting to your spots, and that's a good thing for us.
Cool. Thanks, Kyle. Safe travels, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh. We'll go to Aaron Rose from SI.com. We've got time for two more.
Hey, Kyle. I'm wondering what you're seeing in offenses around the league. Does it feel like scoring is up, and do you sort of have a reason why that might be?
A lot of three-point shots are taken and made. That's one. I think the offensive aspect of the game, guys are just that much better, that much more skilled, that much more talented, right? A guy like Bradley Beal, we held him to, 24 points. He averages 35. And, on a normal, year, when Brad first came in the league, him getting 23, 24 points would be good. But, he's just that much more skilled now that he's 35 a night. Damian Lillard, these guys are shooting the ball. Steph Curry, these guys are shooting the ball from a range that are very, a far distance. And the game is changing. The game is, always like evolving. And I think just talent in skill and work ethic is just getting continuously better.
Does it feel like in the league these days you sort of need to put up 120 to have a good shot at winning games?
It's nice in the regular season, but when the playoffs come, things are a little bit different. So, our league is very offensive minded right now, but when it comes down to championship basketball, defense wins championships.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. Last one is going to go to Leonardo Torres.
All right.
Kyle, it's Leonardo Torres from Peru. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Kyle, what do you think the Raptors need to improve to be considered a candidate to win the East?
We just got to continue to get better. I think our defense has to get a lot better. I think that's one thing about it is our defense has to get better. I think our consistency of playing hard has to get better. We got a long way before we can even think about getting to that point. Right now we're just trying to get our team to a flow and a certain point where we're, consistently playing good offense and consistently playing good defense. When that time comes, we'll get there. But right now, all we can do is focus on game by game and, focus on Boston, tomorrow.
And about Pascal, what is that makes Pascal so special to the team?
He's a forward man that can play like a two guard. He can dribble the ball. He can handle the ball. When he's making his threes, him making 3 threes a night, that changes the game for everybody. Can't go under him. His speed, his talent, his skill set, ball handling makes him just a threat all over the floor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Kyle. Those are all the hands I see. Safe travels. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. I believe Rovin has sent out the links for tomorrow's game at Boston, but Coach Nick Nurse will speak at 6 o'clock pregame. Thanks very much.